resources, and art. I am the assist. Africans, support and strength, inspiration and success together. Shout out to Raw Cannon, Nick, the Queen. Stop shooting them shots at your brother, bro. It's like, nah. Shout out to Mildy and Zach. You know, all my folks. Good looking, Stan. Good looking, brother. I appreciate the help. The assistance. You know what I'm saying? Always, that's always needed. You know, we got to dig in more together. Find ways to trust each other. Find ways to get over like things that we feel like is so detrimental. You know, some things are that detrimental. Is you're not coming back from that. It don't gotta be like you know, we gotta be fighting in the street or I challenge you to a duel or none of that type of shit. It don't gotta be nothing vicious happening to each other behind it. But some things, you know, because the trust will never be there again. You know what I'm saying? It will always be questions of, can I trust this person? And I get it. You know what I'm saying? I guess we all have places and times where we fit into that. You know, I try not to. You know, I want to be mindful at all times. Retrospective, introspective. You know, looking back at my life, looking back at yesterday, last hour, what I could have done better. How, you know, did I really view a situation properly? You know, perceptions. You know, a lot of people are moving on perceptions or saying they're moving on perceptions when they really like in a place of delusion or they're in a place of like, you try and get over. You know what I mean? So you would give this impression that you're seeing things a certain way because, you know, it's a mind game. Nobody actually knows what you're thinking. You know, being clairvoyant for real is truly like understanding patterns of human beings and kind of knowing what's next. It's not no like, you know, spooky stuff or no like a special power. Even intuition, you know what I'm saying? And like we make it like intuition is a special power. For me, the reason why I look at intuition and understand it for what it is because, you know, not to say people are God, but to say like we all a part of creation. You know, I say this a lot. You can't separate the creator from the creation. So you really are in tuned into everything that's moving on around you. Everything before you and everything that's going to go from a very scientific way. In a very scientific way, you know, if people not going to get science, what is science? For me, science is like the factual stuff about nature that just can't be denied. You might see some anomalies, and science is based on experimentation and all that, and you do these experiments to find out what's actual fact, what's actually mathematic, you know, because everything has an equation, everything. So when I say you tapped in, it's like really you're tapped in, like you come from, you know, carbon and nitrogen, like you come from the soil, literally. We all do. Like the biggest thing for me is if the science is correct, which I think it is, everything that the planet is made of in exact proportion, your body is made of. So for me, it's like we really do come from the earth. You know, now where the earth come from and how that whole, you know, we could still go around, you know, people, it's a perfect design. It is in the way that it works in concert. Like I say a lot, everything in life works to another thing to promote life. So if you're doing anti-life stuff, that's the real right or wrong in this existence, in this dimension, this plane. Because it's so funny to me, like, you know, I've had several conversations like about aliens and stuff, extraterrestrials, and it's not that I don't have a belief or I even think that it's funny. It's just another one of those things that you have to really, really dig into the research of it, the thought of it. Like, where did the thought come from? You know, some of the alien stuff comes from the fact that you have groups of people who even look like, you know, that go against themselves and want to believe that it was something other than African folks. Like somehow we had to be super because, you know, or where we stand right now. We don't acknowledge, we don't understand how vast our knowledge base really is being the first people. You know what I'm saying? Going back to like I was saying, my brother, shout out to the the Melvinaire podcast. I don't know why I want to say billionaire or something, but the Melvinaire podcast, because my brother on there, I was giving him my whole thing about why I think the woman is God. Her being first. Most of us, we all start out as women first, and then you go through that change to become a man in the womb, like that in the womb. But we all start off as women first. Women have more gray matter, so they can actually definitely multitask. You have more gray matter. Your mind is more expansive. So if you was first, you got more gray matter. Everybody say that we were made in the likeness of, well, you was made in the likeness of a woman, because it even says that, it even shows it scientifically, which is fact in this case, that we're all women first. So if the earliest known person who came from the earth, Mother Earth, I'm just throwing that in there, but Mother Earth was a woman. We have no bones or nothing that documents anything before that. If those do exist, when we find them, then that will become the fact. But what we know as of right now, the oldest known human was a woman, an African woman. She had melanin. The way that you can tell melanin, Sheikh Auntie Diop or Diop, I've heard people say it different ways. Check him out, Sheikh Auntie Diop. That's Diop. Look him up. He figured out a way, through science, how you can test bones and find out how much melanin content a person had. Because going to the same thing of the alien thing to debunk or discredit or take away the history of, black folk, people dark as me, building all of these creating all of these great things in Kemet, in Alkebulan, Kush. We can go into the names, because it is we get a lot twisted into the names, but those people were black people. They were African folk. They was Alkebulanians, Azanians, Nubians, any name that you want to come up with, you know what I'm saying? We know by science that black folk did, and the science that he came up with, testing the bones, was because he knew through reading and going to these places where Africans were at first, and looking at their art, looking at their architecture, looking at the religion, what spirituality was, looking what was passed on through migration, because you can kind of tell where the beginnings of something come from by tracing back the migrations of the people, and you can see what things were added, what things were left behind, what did they leave with, whether it was, because that's the thing about the continent and basically the Nile Valley culture, like the Nile Valley people, they migrated in all directions. Nobody took everything with them, information-wise, knowledge-wise. A lot of the information that they did take, as they went from one environment to another environment, that information kind of changed. As they ran into people who might have already been out there, if they weren't the first, that information kind of changed. As they went from papyri and, did our traditional thing, which is an oral tradition, our elders, our people remembering these stories because they say them so many times. Well, when you go from one environment to another environment in migration, people die. People forget things. Other things are added. The funny thing about your memory is it doesn't run on a loop the way TV would make you think that it do. It doesn't run on a loop. It's pieced together. When you sitting there trying to remember something, you're trying to remember pieces and then tie the story together to try to come up with a true story, if that's what you're trying to do. Because some people, they be standing there acting like they trying to remember shit, knowing they fucking lying. Like, I forgot who said it, but it's like, come on, bro, you ain't forget because you ain't know, you lying. That's what it is, Like, it was a funny thing in jail and shit, how niggas would come to you with a lie to try to get the truth out of you. And I'm sure it worked at times, you know what I mean? And you got sometimes how a motherfucker comes to you, really gotta just pause for a minute, like, hold up, that's nigga lying. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't jumping into that. And I've been through that with people, but the whole thing with aliens, like I was saying, and extraterrestrials and all that, is like we come from, because of our greatness and being first and doing all these things first and having our melanin have us tapped all the way in to, we do have this collective consciousness that rolls through generations and we can tap into it. You know, we have been told as a part of our subjugation that it wasn't us, to the point where when we started getting some accurate knowledge about us historically, it was given to us like it was aliens, it was a scientist in a lab, is and that, listen, for me that stuff is not true. I've read enough information, primordial man and his people, non-violent civilization, anything from Ivan Van Sertima. Read, because I know that a lot of what's going on right now is people are, intellectually lazy. You think that somebody is going to come on TV, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, on a video, short clip, whatever it is, and tell you what was going on. And if they sound intelligent enough, they use good enough words, depending on how they look, they kind of attractive, they kind of in a good shape, you're going to probably listen to them. Because you don't want to do the work to go do, dig into the bibliography. Like I say, go look at these books. Look into them. I remember this white nationalist boy, young boy. And he thought he was super smart, super hip and shit. He used to try to deal with a lot of the black folk, kind of just like getting information, you know what I'm saying, for whatever they was trying to come up with, you know what I mean? But I remember he had this book, and I don't remember the name of it, but it tried to challenge all, what Greece really was, a cesspool, a cultural says, like culturally it's just a cesspool. What Rome was, try to highlight these things, making them like the beginning of civilizations, and they taught so many people. Now they terrorized a lot of people. They brought a lot of tyranny to people, but teaching, I think not. You know what I'm saying? They learned as much as they can learn, considering they weren't connected. No melanin. Melanin connects you to this existence in a different type of way. Their pineal glands are calcified, so them lacking melanin is one of the reasons why they move in a lot of the ways that they move. That's kind of like anti-environment, anti-people, anti-spiritual. Like this shit is not new. So anyway, we see people on TV and all that shit, and we take what they say because we don't want to look into the bibliography. Young white boy up there, kind of like the leader of the white nationalist motherfuckers. For whatever reason, we put a high emphasis. Well, I know the reason why, because I was kind of given those beginnings at Meade Elementary. Shout out to Miss Stewart, Miss Ballard, Miss Robertson, Miss Robinson. A lot of these women probably not even. I think Miss Stewart definitely, because I was in the 6th grade. Miss Stewart was 36. And one thing about Miss Stewart, she had her son in the class with me in the middle of North Philly, and that's when North Philly was hit. And now it's still hit in certain places, just, how they want to play the money game and how much information we got as a people to just try to hold on and not even hold on to prosper and thrive with the things we got. Shout out to SMU, Strawberry Mansion, my man Rock. The reason why I bring that up, because a lot of people don't know one of the reasons why Strawberry Mansion is not gentrified is because they didn't know that many homeowners lived in Strawberry Mansion. They don't have the most money. They didn't have it to like really redo their cribs, because that was another thing about disinvestment. Yeah, if you was able to get a crib, it was going to be hard as hell to maintain it. And if you could maintain it, you're not going to be able to live in it the way that you want until you're like 60, 70 years old. If you work for us for the last 40 years and we're going to use your pension and refinancing and all that stuff to redo your house. Not that anything is wrong with that, but it's a system that plays into the same system of being able to take the house away from you. Just, dig it. But it's a lot of homeowners in Strawberry Mansion, so they weren't able to gentrify it. And now my folks and his family and a lot of people in that community are empowering themselves because they got that information. They realize it, you know what I'm saying? So again, shout out to Rock, all the work you doing in Strawberry Mansion, Strawberry United. I appreciate. I see a lot of the brothers that you came up with and stuff like that, moving around with you from that neighborhood and really trying to transform the neighborhood in a real way. You know what I'm saying? So again, shout out to your brother, to those brothers. But getting back to my point about the bibliography, this young man, because when I was upstate, like me, my elder Sikin Buzo, my brother Zuberi, we had a couple other brothers. You know, things have gone how they have gone over the years, but Jahi, Don Core, Dio. I laugh because Dio is Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? And when he first started getting into, I think the Puerto Rican Papers is like the first book that he read. I gave him that John, and he really understood that African connection. You know what I mean? And he was standing on it in a lot of ways. And a lot of the other Puerto Rican brothers, they wasn't feeling it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't like it, but it wasn't really nothing they can necessarily do about it because of the fact that he was moving with us. And like, not that we was the most vicious, violent motherfuckers in the prison, but it was kind of understand, damn, these boys really be on love shit for real. You know, loving of people, loving of their brothers, you know what I'm saying, in an African way. And it really was one of them things like, niggas ain't pussies. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't bitches. And you ain't gonna just be able to do or say whatever you want to do. So that was just an understanding. I never had to go at none of that shit, but it was just an understanding as men, you know, recognizing men. Like, and then like I said, our Joan was all love, man. It was about information. It was about moving our people forward. So it was like, damn, what you mad at? You know what I'm saying? Even if you mad, you can't be mad. Cause you mad at me, or might be mad at me because I'm trying to inform you on how we could stay the fuck out of here and how we can understand what has happened to us. You know, like we have been tricked into this shit. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that we super gangsters and thugs and drug dealers and, you know, I'm a move out boy, I'm a main man, I'm a made man, I'm a wreck chaser, you know, I'm a gorilla, I'm a cannon, all the different goofy names that we think sound thorough at the time when we putting that shit together. But all of those names lead to one thing: early death, jail sentences, very unproductive, undeveloped men and now women. That's what all of that shit that we try to hold on to upstate, because we don't got shit else. You feel me? So my thing was like, I ain't that. I don't want to be that. I got that shit in me because I was born into that. You feel what I'm saying? I was born in these neighborhoods with these maladies that make us think that that's who we are. And even crazier, they make us believe, and we have promoted it, that this is black culture. The nigga shit is black culture. That's not. The nigga shit is just as much white people shit as talking nasally and dressing a certain way, dating white women, all that shit. Like, all the shit that we say, oh, that's white people shit. It's white people shit. You on white. The nigga shit is white people shit too, because they created us to be self-destructive like that. The nigga shit is self-destructive. You know, all of the gunplay, drug dealer, sexy red, you know, I'm a demon in the mix ass niggas, like, all that shit is self-destructive. And the crazy part is, not only are we acting like it's black culture, because we'll go at brothers and sisters who not from the streets and make them feel like they not black, when they going through the same identity shit as we are. They just got a couple more resources, but they in the, like, kind of in the belly of the beast. These people playing mind games with them all day, whether they live on the block. Hey, what's up with you? When you coming back? When y'all coming back? I know we supposed to come out there. I'm working on that. This summer is gonna be a great summer. We gonna definitely come out there. But shout out, you know what I'm saying? Those my folks right there. Those my African sisters right there. That's one of them. You know what I'm saying? And then we definitely had a good time, man. I still be looking at like the video and stuff. So, you know, definitely we gonna get out there. Me and Carlita, we needed DC, Baltimore, the whole nine. We need to go through the DMV in Virginia, and the brothers from the Melvin Air podcast. So we might all need to link up. You know what I'm saying? Have a good time out there. I got on the Self-Care Snobs Instagram. She did a live maybe like probably like 2 weeks ago. It was early in the morning. And it's funny because I was like, damn, I'm trying to get on a live. And she like, this boy. Yes, definitely. She is like, I know she was like, nah, I don't want to let him in the live because this boy will be too revolutionary at 7 in the morning. I'm just kind of talking about this issue, but I really wasn't. I really wasn't. I just wanted to second the notion, and it just so happened that she was on it. So shout out to the Self-Care Snob as a sister. I really appreciate her perspective. You know what I'm saying? As a man, she's definitely somebody that I pay close attention to when I get a chance to hear the things that she has to say. But getting back to the point, okay, people showing up, you know what I mean? So, no, come on, slide right on over. You know, take either seat. But getting back to my point, for whatever reason, my fault, bro. For whatever reason, people used to want to challenge us on information, mainly cultural information. They wanted to challenge it. So I guess the white boy, I don't know, he was hearing a lot of things that these niggas can't be so smart. That's probably what he was thinking in his head. So he came to us with this book, historical book. And this is the funny part. He gave it to one of my homies, and I was in an electronics class. I'm certified electronic technician. So I was like the teacher's aide in there for like a year and a half too, as a part of being a tutor. So he brought one of my brothers, I can't remember who it was, brought the book in the class, which was very intentional. You know, when the white boy gave him the book, that was the whole plan. He wanted it to get to me, Zuberi, or Seeking Buzo. So it got to me. I read it a little bit, and then I kind of like, this is some bullshit, and passed it off. I got it to my elder, checked him, my brother checked it, and then it was funny because I remember when we got the book back in the yard, because I never really looked at it. I didn't even take bull serious for real. Once I started reading, I was like, yo, you're not gonna disrespect all the things that I've read that I know are true, that people really put bibliographies in the book and went to museums and went to the countries and read other books and listened to lectures in order to write this book. So we looking through the book, get to the back of the book. There is no bibliography. If you give me a historical book, just about any book, but definitely a historical book, and there is no bibliography, burn that shit. Because that's fucking fiction. It's not nonfiction. It's not fact. It's fiction. Because there's no place. Where did you get your information from? Like, the book literally had no bibliography. So I tell that story to again keep bringing up the point of Instagram. They need a bibliography, bro. Where are they getting this information from? Yeah, they sound good. They using good words. They look good. They probably in shape. All the presentation shit that they done learned from studying people's psyche and who are the people that they'd be willing to listen to when they stand in front of them. What do they look like? What do they sound like? So forth and so on. There's books that tell you this. This is scientific stuff. So just because you speak well and you look well on Instagram don't mean what you're saying is true. The same thing as YouTube. Just because you got a suit on, you're clean cut, you're using you're using the King's English very greatly, and then I just throwing shit around this to be funny, but you're speaking very clearly, articulating yourself in a great way. You have a rhythm, because that's another thing about talking where people take it in more if you talk with a rhythm. That's why one of those reasons why rap music in particular, is so popular and it grasps people and they learn this thing so quick. It's the rhythm of it. You feel what I'm saying? So just because these people present well, don't mean they know what the fuck they talking about. Period, point blank. I need evidence of where you got your information from before I believe anything. Especially believe it, take it in, internalize it too, because understanding and internalizing is two different things. Understanding is I read the book. We can have a discussion about the book. But when you internalize something, it makes you move in a certain way. It may make you change something in your life. It may make you change your perspective on a thing to where like, oh, this is where I'm going now. Understanding something is you could just read it, it don't do nothing, and I just understand it for conversational purpose, maybe to take a test or whatever, something like that, make myself sound smart, whatever. But these people who are on here talking to uneducated people, miseducated people, not burning the books. Nah, we ain't doing none of that. That's one of the reasons why they burn the books, though, because they don't want you to know. That's how they cut you off from your identity, and people are able to subjugate you and oppress you because you don't really know who you are. And then when that next generation come, they all in. They don't know. It's like somebody being born in the projects. You don't know that this is not how it's supposed to be. This was not what this was intended for. You just know you born into whatever the projects is, and you embrace it until somebody gives you some information to let you know, no, this ain't how you have to live. This ain't how you supposed to live. This wasn't predestined for you. None of that. This was set up to be like this. You feel what I'm saying? So stop listening to anybody. Find out where they get their information from. You hear me say a lot of things on here. I try to remember to say books, people, and stuff so you can go Google it. Look it up. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. Look it up. Love yourself enough to do the research. Don't ever believe me. That's what I would say. Don't ever believe nothing I say. If I say it and you feel like go look it up. That's self-love too. Researching shit so you can improve your life. We don't put that in self-love enough. Reading, getting real information, putting some time into that. So I'm gonna leave it at that because I got a guess. I didn't know if this brother was gonna make it because I never got a chance to return the email. But what I was gonna say on the email, if I would have returned the emails like Danny been up here, Keith been up here, Shadiqua been up here, you know what I mean? And I meant to actually send you those episodes, but I got 1,000. You know how I go, bro. We got 1,000 different things going on. It's also a good joint that you come up because you know we got the basketball joint up and running.
Absolutely.
Up 59th and Catherine. We definitely want to link up with you. I know you said you had, and I would love for you to talk about the team that you got, where it's from, where it's coming out of. Because I was like, damn, that's dope. I didn't even know that they had those things going on.
Absolutely.
And then now we can link up and really put something, bigger together for the kids with a lot more resources, a bigger safe space. A lot more ways to interject into their lives in a very positive way. One of the things that I really appreciated about this brother, I seen him in a few different situations, but I went to an event and who was at the table with him? His son. You feel me? And I always appreciate that. That's why I try to take my youngins with me wherever I go so they can see the stuff that I do, see how I'm actually moving. It's not a believe what I say. Do what I say, not as I do. I want you to actually see me doing and being a proper example. I'm not going to be right every time, but I'm always trying to be on the right side of things. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So please let us know who you are before I just keep talking the whole show. You don't even get a word in. Pull the mic up to you too.
No, so my name.
Yo, bro. You want to jump up here? Jump on up here, man.
Before I get situated.
Yeah, jump on up here. That's my brother Mark. He always, you know what I'm saying? Slide up, support the whole situation. He came to the basketball. And Miles, stop trying to take credit for what Mark doing, bro. I'm gonna put that right out here. Yeah, man, I couldn't make it, but I sent top notch. A top notch replacement. Nah, but I appreciate y'all, brothers. Y'all always show me that love and support, man. That's a big deal for me, man. So I always want to put that out there. But let everybody know who you is, man. My bad.
No, man, I appreciate it. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the support. Mm-hmm. My name is David Buck. In my current role, I'm a group violence intervention case manager for the city of Philadelphia for the Office of Violence Prevention. Mm-hmm. And our goal and strategy is just to save lives, keep them brothers out of jail, and kind of live sustainable lives.
Right.
Me in particular, having lived experiences. Fortunately enough for me, a friend of mine was an engineer for the traffic division. So what he would do is had about 15 of us on an email chain link. And whenever those resources came through for the city, it was funneling them. 2 months after my release, I was able to take advantage of a workforce development program called Philly Future Track. It's actually going on now, but I did that 6 years ago.
Right.
And that, changed my whole trajectory. And here I am now, still within city government, 2 months out of state prison.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Nah, I know how surreal that John could feel. Like you in the box somewhere in upstate, as we like to call it, Central PA, Western PA, all these these mystical places you never heard
in the mountains
or heard the fuck of before. The only thing you knew was Philly, Pittsburgh. You might have knew Redding. You might have New York, Allentown, but the rest of that, you really ain't know nothing about it until you got upstate. So it'd be crazy to come home after doing however amount of time you're doing, you know what I mean? And then get right in the opportunity. And it really be like, damn, this is not that easy, but it's that easy. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, when you're moving with intent, I think that's what we all lack, especially coming up in the streets where we from. Not having that specific guidance to even figure out what to be intentful on.
Right.
But when that joint cracked, and I don't know, for me it was just different. My mind was made up, and it just seemed like everything just snapped.
Right.
Like, I'm talking about outside resources. I'm talking about, like, family even respecting my hand. Like, oh, no, he, like, serious about this. So when people really seen that, it was nothing but support. So that's what made
on top of that, it's a different gratification when you see your hard work come to fruition. You know what I mean? Like, yo, when you see it happen, it's like, sometimes I know, because I do it too sometimes, but I don't even know the whole situation where you at, but I did 20, so just sitting back sometimes, and you see it happen, it's like, oh, no, I remember them. I can't forget them days.
No, you'll never forget, though. You'll never forget, right? And them rules. See, we bring the rules from the streets into the penitentiaries, and then we come home and still live and govern by those same rules, like sucker ducking. You know what I mean? Just not surrounding yourself with negativity. Right. So it took a lot of, like, the people, places, and things, John, is real too.
Nah, that's all the way real. So let me, because I definitely want to make sure I get everything. You kind of told us who you are. One of the questions that I asked is, who are you? You gave, like, your professional, you know what I mean, who you are professionally, but give us a little bit about you, the person, identity-wise, you know what I'm saying? Not so much the social stuff, but, like, identity, like, what part of the city you from, where your folks traditionally from, stuff like that.
I'm West Side boy, born and raised. You know, down the bottom up like West Philly, man.
It ain't down the bottom no more, bro.
No, it ain't. No, it's gentrified.
Wow, that's a crazy scene down there, especially right now. But go ahead, my bad.
But you know, that's what's so crazy with doing this work as well. Like, but my inner identity is me, bro. Like, I've navigated. I'm 37. I done navigated all these spaces just utilizing my emotional intelligence, right? But I had to get to the space to even understand what that was to really know to, like, no, don't go out tonight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, chill, and God forbid, the spot got shot up or something. Right. You know what I'm saying? Just Philly, like, things that just, like, trust your judgment, trust your gut. But yeah, like, born and raised in West, man, just navigating it. Single father, single full-time father.
I seen you. Salute to that. Definitely.
Yeah, navigating that space. I got a godson that I was there for. He's a sophomore in Columbia. You know what I'm saying? Full ride, finance major. So that gave me my first example of fatherhood. So I've been there from the rip. So, yeah, man, just it's so crazy because it's a journey. It's a process. Who I was last week ain't who I am today. Right. Because of the information that I got.
Ever evolving.
So, yeah, I'm just a solid boy, man. Just trying to figure it out.
Yo, I like that because I do say it a lot, man. Like, I like being a good dude. Like, I like if that's what people like, nah, you're a good dude. Like, they don't say nothing else. Like, nah, you're a good dude, bro. Like, that's good for me. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I try to do, and I do intentionally. I ain't even gonna say I try, I do intentionally. So what is your resource? Because this is a resource and re-entry show. What is your resource?
Whatever. I use, man, the resources that I've experienced throughout my journey is accessible, right? It's no different than anybody else. But one thing I can say that I did is leveraged relationships, took advantage of opportunities, right? Like, and just led with service. Right. So the resources are out here. There's a program here, there, everywhere, right? But what I always encourage to the brothers, like, be ready. Be ready. Be about it, because it's out there.
Nah, when you said being intentional, and I use that, but I always more so be like, you know, people like, you hit the ground running. Like, it's like I knew what I wanted to do, being intentional, but I knew, my thing is like, I knew what I wanted to do. I was preparing myself before I came home.
I knew what I didn't want to do too, though. I'm going to say the same. I knew what I didn't want to do.
You knew what you didn't want to do. You know it's off the table.
Absolutely.
It's certain.
No, that is
that's very much so true.
Yeah, I will say it like that. I knew exactly what I didn't want to get into. You know what I'm saying? And the more
this right, it's off the table. Like, this is non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable, bro. And I ain't gonna hold you. It come close. It come close when you in those times, and it's just that those, like, damn, shit feels stagnated when it really ain't. You know what I'm saying? Because you still haven't given up that intentionality. Like, so you in these spaces, but this is the natural progression where most people it's take 10 years. That's a good trajectory. You coming home where you at, you like, damn, I'm running. Year in, it kind of seemed like it's doing this, and you be looking around like, hold up, I'm doing something wrong. I gotta do this. That's how I be.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can't speak for everybody. That's how I be. Whenever it feel like I'm coasting, which I'm still in a good space, I feel like it's stagnated. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold up, I gotta get some more information. I gotta do some more networking. I gotta, you know what I'm saying?
No,
I gotta extend myself because I feel like I'm on a different time frame than everybody else.
But
you know what I mean?
You also did 22, so
Yeah.
you also feel like, yo, I
got no time to waste.
I gotta make up for it. I could be doing something right now.
You know,
right.
you want to know? You want to know what else is crazy?
That's the more than I can't stand, because I tell people that like I can't sit still, I can't do this. It's more of I could be doing something. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to be 20 and 30 again. That's over. I ain't trying to chase that or nothing. I don't have this big lofty thing about I want the house and all of this, because I'm gonna get all of that stuff. But it's more of a thing where it's like, what are you looking at, man? Why are you in here? I don't even like you for real, bro. You know, I'm still not feeling you from the last week, how you was acting. But we gonna get to that. These some of my folks, you know what I'm saying? One of my ball players, as soon as he get in better shape, he gonna be a get. I don't know if he know yet. You know what I'm saying? This boy right here, Kai, he just, I don't know, man. But we don't got a whole lot of show to be taking it up for this guy right here, man. And you had an opportunity to be on the show before too. Was you on the show? Wasn't you on the show before? Yeah, she was on the show before. It's one of my returning guests, actually.
Okay.
So my whole thing be more than anything be like, I'm not trying to get nothing back. I'm not trying to relive no days. It's just like my timing is a little different. Like I know what I want. I know who I am. Like definitely for sure know who I am. And it's like, I don't want to waste no time. I want to create and build in every moment that I have.
It's that
you feel me?
information that you keep retaining.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like that's what causes that sense of urgency. Like so it's never a stagnating point, right? As soon as I sit back, another play has developed, right?
Yeah.
Or, I mean, I've navigated and put myself in a plethora of spaces, right, for learning purposes, right? I have no collegiate experience, right? But everybody that I'm running with has that. So, but my lived experience is just as equivalent, right?
Yeah,
right.
No
So,
doubt.
because that's what they sharing with me.
And something else you said, like, you want to be of service.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like
you have to lead with it. You have to lead with it.
You want it. You feel like you got all this energy, all this like, yo, because you sat back waiting for this opportunity, and it's like, yo, you know what? I want to do something. I want to help. I want to help people as much as I can.
No,
I mean, because he'll tell you.
That's how I
just
be.
come through sometimes.
I'm like
like,
that.
yo,
And
what you need? What can I do?
And I don't have this sense of, and I talk to brothers about this a lot, just to like re-look at that. Like I don't have this sense of I owe my community. The reason why I don't have that I love my community. I love the people. That's the reason why I want to do what I'm supposed to do for my community, my people, folks that look like me. But at the same time, the shit was already designed a certain way. I was just acting it out.
That's why I don't carry that burden.
You feel what I'm saying? And
a
lot of brothers, I've gotten to like, not arguments, but I've gotten to debates with brothers because it's like, nah, bro, we owe this. And I'm like, bro, you don't. You have an obligation as a black man to take care of the community that you come from, people that look like you. It only makes sense. But I owe it for selling drugs, shooting, whatever. Nah, it's a bigger system that had this situation set up in a certain way. So like what I said about the projects, you're born into particular things. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you because I was 14 and y'all showed me drugs, guns, and fast money and all this shit, and I ain't had no way to stop it. My mom ain't had no way to stop it. Nobody in our community even understood how to stop it. So I got born into that. I came off the porch to drug dealing, to guns, and you know what I'm saying? So this is the shit that I got into. But now I understand how I got into this shit. So I don't really owe anybody. The only thing my obligation is to dismantle that. To make sure that next group of young boys, when it's time for their rites of passage, is not guns, drugs, running the street, not going to school. Even though we can have a whole conversation on whether school is beneficial or not in the way that it's put together. Education is beneficial. Information is beneficial. But the structure of how some of our schools are, they sending them to jail too. Most of our young people get into contact from there.
No, so it's the school. You know, we all know
the
about
school to prison pipeline. Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys, me being a West Philly boy that I am, got to keep tabs on everything. The Junior Public Defenders Association has a program in Sayre High School talking about the school to prison pipeline.
Right.
Straight like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you got to talk about it.
That's
bro.
how you have to. So a lot of things where society is very reactive, especially like in the city or whatever. If we do these preventative measures, like I spoke at my old high school, right? 10, 15 years ago, I could not recall somebody that looked like me that came in there and would told me anything besides where the work was.
Like you how to be a consumer and a worker.
And stay within the rat race, right? So, man, the information is available, it's here. It's just imperative, like, these young bulls are able to see men like us, right? Because I get a lot of impact in whatever services that I'm doing because I'm coming as me, right? You know, like relative, but not really for talking about what I did 10 years ago. Like we don't, we not
gotta
doing
elevate
that.
from that.
Yeah, but that's not even my whole mission. Period. Right? Like, what do I get? Like just like you said, we ain't chasing no time that we lost. Nah, you know what I'm saying? We present in the present. You know what I'm saying? Focusing what the next steps is. Yeah, man. So it's once you start to have that type of mindset, mind frame, like you get disgusted by it, bro.
Nah, definitely. Like having that, like he said to me, and I didn't really put it in these words. It was like, damn, you moving around in the city, it feels like it's so much tension. This shit kind of make me feel like I'm still in jail because I gotta be on all the time, and I really be moving around. All my drama, whatever you want to call it, like I'm 20, 25 years removed. I'm not creating no new shit, but I'm not going to walk around like I'm scared. I don't have to run around with a gun because I ain't got shit going on.
The tension is real.
It's a real thing, but it come from poverty. It don't really come from us just really like hating each other. Niggas is miserable because they fucking broke, and we looking at shit to try to act like we not broke.
We looking at shit on the phone.
Motherfuckers is get a pair of sneaks, a wheel, and then all of a sudden niggas acting like they not broke. But this is the only pair of sneaks you gonna get for a while. You trying to keep them Jones together on the low, and your will, you one accident breakdown from not having no will because you don't really have the money to maintain it because you broke. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's most, and this is my biggest thing, and I want you to give us a little bit about GVI because you know GVI could be very controversial. Seeing a brother like you, we could ask a lot of questions on like how that brother get involved for those who have some of an understanding of GVI. But what I was about to say is, if you want to see what's going on in the city, look at the schools. These babies is not okay. I'm looking at elementary school. These kids is not taken care of, and not just because it's just our parents don't care them. The parents is broke too.
Absolutely.
But who don't want their kids to look good? Who don't want their kids' hair cut? Who don't want their kids to be fed for real, for real? So if you really want to know what's really going on in Philadelphia with black folk who are 44% majority in the city, go to any elementary school in this city and look at the babies, and it will tell you exactly who got money, who don't got money, and it's a whole bunch of them that don't. Because who's going to send their children to school not well kept if they got it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
if you got a little bit, you're going to do that. So you must be like assed out a little bit to allow your baby to go to school like that. To the point where sending your baby to school is a play from poverty too. I hope my baby eat when they get there. It's warmer there. It's AC there. You know what I'm saying? Like I could go on and on and on. You feel me? Yeah. But I ain't gonna go too far more. I'm gonna let you tell us give us a little synopsis of GVI. Give us the PowerPoint they sent you with.
I mean, I could read it verbatim. I wanted to go with a little different approach.
Do your thing, man. However you want to do it. I just want people. This is a very controversial thing, bro, right. And I want people to understand what's going on from the people who are involved that look like us.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
So the where things get misconstrued is the misinformation or the lack of understanding, right?
Right.
So GVI is a law enforcement strategy, right? Who Philly doesn't have groups. I mean, it doesn't have gangs, so they're classified as groups, right? These young men are portraying all different types of acts of violence, putting it on social media, tagging his man in it, and now you're associated as a group, right? So this is where this thing, let's go there, because this thing didn't start from, wherever they got it from, right?
Right.
So there is a call-in type of method where the district attorney, local police captains, probation, parole, and a credible messenger right? Aside from our team, and the credible messenger is a mother who lost her child to, gun violence. That's the credible messenger that we use.
Mothers in charge, stuff like that. Because I do CCIP, supervisor for Eddie's house.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
sure,
I'm night shift for Eddie's house with the credible messengers or CCIP advocates, however you want to say it. So I know what you're talking about. But when you say a credible messenger, almost anybody can be credible. This young man from a particular neighborhood. He's credible in that neighborhood because he's from that neighborhood. He has certain experiences in that neighborhood that people respect for whatever reason, but he's known.
And it holds some value.
Right. So when you say credible messenger, as in moms, I'm just giving them the John mothers in charge.
For sure. Absolutely. And that's the clarification that we have to give, right? So within that message with these multiple components, there's a real direct message stating from the law enforcement, right? We know what you guys are doing. There will be strict punishment, enforcement, if you guys continue to drive this violence, which they are leading most of the violence within the city is group related. I'm not even going to start throwing out different names and cliques, but you know what I'm saying? So fortunately enough for me, I'm in a position who's been where my whole sheet has been, right? Povertized, no collegiate experience. Just coming from poverty, right?
Dad involved?
Nah, of course not.
You know, because this stuff is it's a pattern, like lack of education, no parent, poverty. You know what I'm saying? But
absolutely, yeah. That's the framework. Yeah, how all this thing is, how we come about it. So my particular role within that whole dynamic is to let the brothers know. You already seen what they presented to you guys. They know y'all. They're striking down more enforcement. But here I am as a man with lived experience. I'm not a cop. I'm not here to arrest you. I'm not here to be nothing but another level and layer of support, right? With doing this work, so servicing the brothers, giving them another opportunity to do whatever it is that they want to do, right? And
alternative.
You're
offering them an alternative.
Yeah, not just saying, and we getting guys employed within 72 hours of making contact. So it's not about nothing else but keeping guys safe, alive, and out of prison.
So when my question would be asked, like, how do you feel about the ultimatum from this standpoint? Most of these young men don't critically think.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So you kind of come into the understanding like, is he really going to take this information? And I'm not a coddle young boy type dude. I'm not that guy.
The work that we
but
do.
What I will say is a lot of times we lead our young men in a certain way, knowing it's kind of open ended once they leave us. Absolutely. Once they leave you, once they leave me, it's like, I'm sending you over here. Is they gonna make sure you good? This is what I'm asking though. When you stand in that crossroad, because that's what you standing at. Because it's a funny thing. You said GVI is a law enforcement, but you not law enforcement.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's one place of confusion can come. Right. So when you standing in that middle, do you ever feel like?
No, I'm never in the middle, bro. I provide a social service component to the strategy for the city of Philadelphia.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I have 6 years in city government.
Right.
I'd rather me be doing this work, stepping to these brothers than anybody else. Right. Bro, I done met individuals that these are the most violent individuals in the city. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm meeting guys that don't even have a birth certificate. But working with these gentlemen and getting them to a space where they're obtaining their high school diplomas, sustaining sturdy employment, taking care of their kids, and being a pillar of the community in which we all want ourselves to be first.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I'm touching men from a personal level, right? I didn't go to school for this to just be doing this.
Right. I feel you. I got that same background. And the same work. We in the same work, basically. So, you know what I'm saying? Just different levels of it. Because I'm definitely not the cops.
That's what I'm saying. I'm always gonna
rock with it like that.
Yeah.
None of that. I'm on the time you on. Like, listen, all of this over here for you, bro. When you get over there, I ain't built enough to do nothing for you over there.
That's the whole twist. And they gonna cook you.
And they gonna rock you. Now, one thing I will say about this, I don't know how many young boys, I couldn't go to the door with all of those people. I'm gonna be honest with you. But that ultimatum is something that we do in the street all the time. I do that in the street, bro. I ain't gonna tell you to put the gun down. I ain't gonna tell you that you ain't gonna make your next dollar off these drugs. But what I do know for sure, 9 times out of 10, you keep this going for a summer. Not a year, 2 years, 3 years, a summer. Because most of us spend 10, 15, 20 years talking about a popping summer we had. When we was getting all it. And a summer is 3 months. You understand what I'm saying? You gonna be in prison talking about that work you put in over what? A 6-month period? When you gonna be spending 60 years in jail? I mean, whatever the work was.
Look, it sounds like he's offering an alternative, but you just gotta know everyone's not gonna take it.
No.
So maybe
Listen, maybe you got. So this is why.
No, we ain't confused on that. We know everybody. We know you know.
We just saying like he's offering an alternative,
right?
But the thing is,
I'm more mindful to this, and I apologize.
We in it.
I'm more mindful to this. We tend to go to young folks and people, forget young folks, people that we know are not equipped for what we about to offer them, and then when they don't, I'm just saying. You can give because we got a little bit of time, but I want you to give on this one. We go to people who don't really have an understanding of the information for real. We kind of know that. We've seen that systematically over time and expect them to make sound decisions.
Absolutely.
So how do you work with that? What is the thing
it's a process.
Yeah, what is the thing for you with that?
No, you meet people where they are, bro.
Okay.
Just like I explained that young boy who had that birth certificate and now is living a sustainable life.
Right.
I got young boys who come through with 5 or 7 years of great work experience. Right. Like, so that's the beauty in this thing. It's an individual. There's no blanketed answer.
Right.
To
Everything
this,
is individualized. You get to deal with people like that.
Approach, right.
And then you case management. So I know a lot of what you're doing is follow up, phone calls, going to the crib, taking them to where they need to be.
But so GVI isn't a mandated program with these guys neither though. So you got to peep that with these guys that's working with us and staying consistent and relying on me to call and say, damn, bro, you got to, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm working. It's systematic, bro. These is like little bros, bro.
I got you.
You get what I'm saying?
Nah,
like
it's just,
man, make sure he are. He ain't show up today. Cause
what's up with him? Yeah.
He gonna talk to me. Oh, I had to go to court today. All right, bring the note in. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I got you.
We saving lives, bro. And I'm saying these young brothers is bringing their kids up there. We providing them with parenting classes and all that. So I don't even really hear the negative behind the GVI because everybody know who I am.
Right. I got you.
You get what I'm saying? I ain't never been. I work for the city.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Nah, I got you. Because that's one of the things. Like even with working with OVP, it's like I haven't had people really come at me like crazy, but it is like a question of like, you working with the city, like what's going? Yeah, I'm getting a fucking check to be good and make sure your ass is good. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. That when you said that kind of put me at ease a little bit, like on some real shit. When you was like, nah, man, I'm a black man. I come from where they come from. I'd rather me being here deciphering it for them and me be the one that offer it to them than somebody else who's not going to give a fuck about those things.
Disingenuine, bro.
Right, right.
Like I said, and that's why I expressed about...
Oh, he kicking me off. Is that music?
No,
kick me off?
That's me.
That's going to get me on the time anyway.
Okay.
So what I need you to do as a part of what you're saying is tell us why you do what you do, and we gonna slide out on that.
Oh man,
I appreciate you coming, bro. You gotta come back again. You was
I gotta
late.
Come back. Yeah, I was.
I love to tell people they late. Like,
no, man, I do what I do, man, because if I don't do it, who else, right? A lot of our previous generations was expecting saviors to come out of, you know what I'm saying, searching for those, and we gotta really be the saviors in our community.
Nah, no doubt, bro.
Had a households, like families, bro. Like my folks are grateful. So grateful of the work that I'm doing, and the young men that's following behind me, bro. So that's what I do it for.
Nah, man, we gonna email you again, man. You gotta come up and get the whole hour. I gotta go bust some young boys' asses in basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we got a non-violent 3-on-3 tournament coming up too.
Listen, man, get with us. We on that time, and you gotta get with me about the young boys from the shelter. We ain't get a chance to talk about it, but we gonna line it up because we about to start scrimmaging in a minute. So to make this joint huge for the summer. But listen, man, this is PSA, Philly Service Announcement. Take over Tuesday, take over love, support, grace, social activism, resources, and art. Shout out to all my people. I love black people. That's what we doing out here. We out, man. Appreciate you, bro.
No doubt, bro.